What is going on Facebook and YouTube Live? If you guys could give me a shout out, let me know that you can hear me out there. I would appreciate it. Running a brand new system tonight. Finally got my streaming PC all set up and running. Want to make sure that you guys can hear me out there. And if you can't, please let me know in the comments below. Got a lot of stuff to talk about over the next few minutes. One of those is going to be a wrap up of the tackle box. And that's going to be talking about some things that sold really well at the tackle box. I'm going to show you a bag of baits that I bought. Yo, what's up, Mark? Can you guys hear me out there? Again, I got a brand new computer that I'm running that I just built. I want to make sure that you can hear me. I hope you guys can't hear the water-cooled system, But I want to talk to you guys about two videos that I just released this weekend, and that was talking about the brand new Shimano Stella, as well as the brand new Shimano Bantam, which is going to be huge. What's up, Stephen Chase? Again, somebody drop a comment. All right, there we go. Great. Sounds good. Make sure you guys can hear me. I want to make sure that was the truth. So thanks for that. Without further ado, we're going to drop the quick intro here, and after that, we're going to get into it. Don't you leave.
Gotta get your arms way up in a cast and set the hook on smallmouth bass, and then you'll understand. Gotta get your hands on a Shimano reel and a G-loop is right. I bet you like what you feel. Step on the deck, give it a whirl. Hello, welcome to my world.
All right, quick and dirty there on the intro. Hey, man, not a problem. I'm sure I'll see you guys soon. Still got some stickers for you. But without further ado, we're going to talk about some things that happened at the tackle box this weekend. We're going to talk about two brand new reels that Shimano just released that I finally got my hands on over the weekend. That was the Shimano Stella and the Shimano Bantam. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Bag o' baits from the tackle box. There's about, I don't know, $100 worth of baits here that I bought at the tackle box. Down here in just a second, I'm going to show you guys some of the things that I got through my partnership this year from Do It Molds. Huge shout out to those guys out there, Drake Leak and the people at Do It have hooked me up, son. Cannot wait to show you what I got. But without further ado, we're going to talk about the two reels that I had the opportunity to finally get my hands on over the weekend. Again, the Shimano Stella. The Stella was always the flagship spinning reel, from Shimano, and it's always been that upper echelon, not only price point, but it's also been crazy as far as the technology to come out within that reel. That's where micro module gearing just very first was introduced there. The micro module 2 gearing that was released, years and years ago. The newest release, release of the Stella before this one was in 2018. Phenomenal reel. Price point $699, which is a ton. I was lucky enough to get my hands on one, and I've used it for years, and it's absolutely bulletproof. I don't see a ton of them being introduced into my arsenal. One, for the fact that I don't beat my stuff up like that, but two, I think it's overkill for the fishing that I do. But I do have one, and I encourage you, if you have the opportunity to get your hands on one and definitely fish it, definitely do so. Some of the new stuff that's come out from Shimano is, for example, right here, this is a Vanford. You can see this has a long stroke spool on it. The spool travels a long ways up and down. The new Stella travels that long stroke travel, but it also, the oscillation of it is extremely slow, and that's known as infinite loop. So basically what's happening is you have all of those loops of line laying right next to each other, and there's no crosshatch pattern on the reel at all. So you're going to get one solid loop of line coming off of your reel. It's going to change the way you cast for sure. Mark, man. Dude, don't make me cut you down. Coming from the dude that's running the red rocket socket for a boat. And just as he said, I'm kidding. Anyway, the new Stella is amazing. I'm not going to get super involved with that reel because let's face it, there's not a whole lot of people, including myself, that's going to have the opportunity to own those things. They're $50 more expensive, $749 MSRP. That is a ton of money. They are worth it if you're looking for that super high upper echelon reel. Amazing. I love that slow oscillation. It also is coming out with something called Infinity Drive, which is now what we're going to talk about in just a second. Infinity Drive on the reel used to be called X-Ship. So this is a new version, new design of X-Ship. X-Ship used to support both sides of the main shaft with a bearing and both sides of the pinion gear with a bearing on a bait caster. They've actually changed that thing to allow this Infinity Drive system. So now what happens is on the Stella, the main shaft goes through the pinion gear, which is going to have a lot more rigidity, and it's going to cause your reel to have less deflection. But the Infinity Drive system on the new Bantam, guys, I cannot tell you how absolutely smooth this freaking reel is. You have to get your hands on it and reel it. The cool thing about this is that those of you guys who know how rock solid the Bantam is, it's not changed other than in technology. The price point is still the same. It's not the cheapest reel on the planet, but it is worth every dollar you're going to pay for it. I'm not going to lie to you guys, and I'm not saying this because I'm affiliated with Shimano. It is the absolute smoothest reeling bait caster I've ever had in my hands in my entire life, hands down. Man, Mark, you know I'm just yanking your chain, dude. That's what I gotta say about lose. I don't personally, but I think Mark's got a signature series, but he wears a thong. He wears that man thong backwards, I hear. I'm not sure. This is a kid friendly show, guys. Come on. I'm just having fun. Anyway, long story short, Tackle Box Open House was amazing. Aaron Strickland, I do have some jigs for you. You said you were coming, I didn't see you. So I still have those things. I'm not going to ship them to you because we live so close together. I'm going to see you eventually. I'll give them to you. Those of you guys that are out there wondering where your crap is from the giveaway that I just did, I'm shipping it out on Thursday. Again, I wanted to give a little bit of time for the Rona to get rid of and out of my house before I shipped a bunch of stuff out of here and create this super spreader event. So it's heading out there. Hey, Andrew, man, good to finally put a face to a name with you. We'll definitely get on the water this summer for sure. No problem. And hope enjoy those jigs, man. Send me some pictures of fish you caught with them. We had a bunch of people through the door at the Tackle Box. Last year, the perfect storm happened. There was about 5 inches of snow that hit the day of the Tackle Box on a Saturday. And above and beyond that, there was a tanker truck that turned over on the Ashland Bridge, shutting the entirety of US 52 down, which is basically one of the main ways you can get there. It took me from Coalgrove an hour and 45 minutes to get to the Tackle Box last year. This year had decent weather. A lot of people through the door on Saturday. A lot of people went through the door on Sunday. I think altogether we sold 15 NRX Plus rods. And guys, again, if you missed the sale this past weekend for NRX Plus, you just missed out. The only thing I tell you is it's the lowest I've ever seen an NRX Plus priced. And we had people coming in trying to buy GLX rods. And we were basically giving them the NRX Plus, which is about $170 to $75 to $200 more expensive than the GLX. We were selling them at basically the same price as the GLX, which was crazy. Sold roughly 80 Shimano and G Loomis rods throughout Saturday alone. Sold a few on Sunday. Sunday is always a lot slower than Monday or than Saturday. Saturday was amazing. Thank you guys for coming out and showing out with the purchasing a ton of Shimano stuff. Like I said, I had a lot of conversation with people there. Everybody knows that I'm a big G Loomis and Shimano guy. Guys, I don't care what you're fishing with, man. As long as you're out there catching them, I don't care if you got a Zebco 33 out in the John boat just wearing them out. That's what it's all about. I don't care what you're fishing with. I know what I like and I know what I'm going to fish with, but I'm not going to think any less of you because you fish that stuff. It's all about being out on the water. So we sold a lot of stuff. Some of the things that I saw that went out the door more than anything. Let's just dig through this bag of baits because I have a few of them in here. Some of the stuff you guys can't see. It's 100% top secret. But several of the things in here that are, big time sellers. Show you guys really quickly. First and foremost, sold a lot of these new Shimano jerkbaits. I think you guys can see it. If I can get my camera to work with it there, you can see that little piece of foil in there that actually keeps shaking. It's got a couple springs in there. This is the Shimano World Minnow. This is a World Minnow 115. This thing has a it's called Jet Boost. It's basically that little piece of foil in there. Hopefully now you can see it really well. Hopefully you can see that thing. That's going to be a game changer. I picked up the clown collar. I liked it because it's a little loud, but it's not like over the top the way most clown baits are. $20 at the tackle box, $19.99. These things were going out the door fairly well. The AU collar sold out immediately. They were all gone. Larry Slack, buddy, my brother from another mother, man. Good to see you guys up there this weekend. World Minnow, one of the things I saw going out the door a lot. One of the biggest, hottest baits that I saw going out the door total, the new Rapala Dt8. This is the Demon collar. I picked this up because I really enjoyed the collar. I'm going to be doing a lot of spring fishing here very soon. I like the reds and dark or really bright oranges and stuff for the springtime. DT8, we sold a ton of these. We restocked the shelf like 3 or 4 times. If you're looking in the market for a DT8, Greg has a literal truckload of these things up there, and you cannot find these things. So that is a very, very good place to find the DT8. That was another thing that went out the door really well. Doesn't take a rocket surgeon to figure out that the power bait, the max scent flatworms were going out the door like crazy. Sold out all of the black ones and all of the, let's see. Good turn on Saturdays. Got some good deals. Can't remember the new Strat King Game Bait, but got a few of them. Probably the Chick Magnet, I would say. Jackhammers were on sale for $14. They were selling like crazy. He does have Fire Crawl if you're interested in that. But again, we did see a lot of the power bait stuff going out the door. This is natural shad. This is the last. I bought the last 2 bags of natural shad that they had. $6.99 at the tackle box. Restocked up, and I didn't buy these. I didn't buy these at the tackle box, but got some new tungsten here. This is these are Sportsman packs. Eco Pro tungsten, 3/16 ounce is my favorite. I got 35 of these, and let's see, 8 half-ounce weights. I did get restocked up on those. Thank you to you know who you are hooking me up with that. Picked up some new old monster worms, 10.5-inch worms here from Zoom, green pumpkin red. This is going to go on a Carolina rig this spring for sure. Picked up, you already know, some Yum dingers in watermelon red flake. Hold on to this information for just a second. We'll talk about it in just a second. Picked up, you guys know I'm going to Lake Fork here very soon. I'll be throwing big baits down there for big fish. I am going to get bit by a absolute swamp donkey, or I'm not going to catch a fish. I'm literally throwing some of the biggest baits I've ever thrown in my life. I'm going to catch them. This is a 10-inch power bait, power worm. This is motor oil, I believe. Yep, motor oil, 10-inch worm. Really excited to throw that thing out there. And then the rest of the crankbaits and stuff, guys, I got 2 more crankbaits in there, but it's a family secret. And if I told you, then my family would disown me. That's not true, but I'm not going to show them. Man, so yes, the Shimano Zodius are absolutely phenomenal for the price point. They're one of my absolute favorite rods. Speaking of rods, those of you guys that are out there and looking for a mid-range, well, I won't even say a mid-range, it's a lower price Shimano rod. I'm looking to offload one. I have a 7'5" heavy SLX rod that I want to get rid of. I'll sell it to you guys without shipping it. If you're local, I'll sell it to you for $50. 50 bones. That's half price. I like the rod, but I want to go lighter. I want to probably buy a Zodius, something I want to be throwing swim baits, maybe an A-rig. I might even pick up the what is it? The shoots like 913 UBR IMX Pro, but I do have an SLX. It's only been used about 5 times. I have it paired with a Corrado 300. The Corrado does not go with it, but the rod I will sell you locally. I'm not going to ship it because it'll cost more to ship it than the rod's worth. 50 bones if you're interested. But yeah, Paul, if you're just now, I don't know if you fish the Shimano Zodius much or not, but they are absolutely one of my favorite rods on the planet. The price point, you can't beat them. That Spiral X technology is amazing. I love the carbon monocoque handle added there. I cannot wait to get my hands on the new X Pride because they are going to be absolutely phenomenal too. Matthew Strickland in the house. What's up, buddy? Almost time to get those big flatheads fired back up. I'm sure you're ready pumped about that. So anyway, Tackle Box is really cool. We saw a lot of you guys up there. Thanks you guys for coming up. I saw people that had watched my show that I never even knew that they watched my show. And the coolest part of this, guys, is that the people that are watching my show locally for sure are a plethora. It's a wide range of people. It could be kids that are 12 years old, or there could be, I spoke to some folks that were in their 70s this weekend that were watching my show, which is really daggone cool. Thank you guys for the support. Speaking of which, huge week for my YouTube channel. You guys know that I am pushing for that 4,000 subscriber on YouTube, and I have literally, I've had one of the best months I've ever had, at least in the last 5 years, for subscribers and things. And that is not only due to you guys, but you guys getting my, my stuff out there, and telling your buddies and lying to them or whatever you need to do. But it has been a phenomenal month. I'm pulling up my YouTube channel here just to make sure that I don't lie to you guys. Let's see. Analytics here. I am 80 subscribers this month, which is amazing. Thank you guys very much for that. My math tells me at the end of this month here, which we still have 15 days left, if I can break that 120 subscribers this month, that'll be huge. And right now I'm setting at, let's see, I want to make sure, 3,296 subscribers. So getting to that extra 700 roughly is going to be about 65 a month going from here on out, depending on if I can get that 120 subscriber month. It'll knock it down to about 50, which would be huge. So again, you guys know I have a hard goal. It's a hard stop goal. If I don't get 4,000 subscribers by the end of this year, I'm out. I'm just going fishing. I love talking to you guys and hanging out. Man, there's a lot of work that goes into this stuff. Excuse me. New Zodius medium light spinning rod. Look forward for the ice clearing off the lakes here in PA, man. You are absolutely going to love that medium light rod. I own it myself. The 7-foot medium light is phenomenal. I love that thing. It's a great Ned rig rod. Small finessey stuff. You could probably get away throwing a wacky rig. But I like a little longer rod with a wacky rig for some reason, but you are absolutely going to love that. So again, like I said, the tackle box was amazing. Saw a lot of you guys out there. If I didn't get to see you guys, I'm sure I'll see you guys out on the water or around. But tackle box was slam packed Saturday and Sunday. Sold a lot of stuff. Greg was more than appreciative to everybody that came in there. Greg and Debbie and the people that worked. Like we were like 17 people deep, just people working there, and a lot of times we were covered up. So it was amazing stuff. Hey, Marcus, let's check this out. Where does the Conquest rank to you after the NRX release? I still use my 842, 840C, 905 all the time. NRX Plus, drop shot rod, 872S, 901S, 853C, 894, 8, and the Carolina rig rod. Man, so I want you to understand that my opinion is, they're kind of like rear ends. Everybody has one, and they usually stink. But I'm going to be the guy to tell you first and foremost my absolute opinion. I'm not going to pull any punches. Yes, I'm affiliated with Shimano and G Loomis through the tackle box of South Point, Ohio, but I have never really been a huge fan of the Conquest rod line. They have the most amazing technology in there, but a lot of the tapers is mag bass rod, MBR mag bass rod, and I think Shimano and G Loomis are doing a huge disservice to fishermen by not calling that a moderate bass rod, which is what it is. But back to your question, where do I think they rank after the NRX Plus have been released? I am 100% going to tell you my absolute opinion. I think the NRX Plus blows the Conquest out of the water. It's lighter. The only thing you're not getting is those Torzite guides. I like the REC components guides, the recoil guides that are on the NRX Plus. Love it or hate it. Some people either love it, some people either hate them. There's no in between. I am on I'm on the team or in the camp of absolutely loving the recoil guides. The CI4 Plus reel seat that they just put on the new NRX Plus is absolutely phenomenal. You're getting the multi-taper design in the NRX Plus, which you don't get in the Conquest, which allows the rod to be just as, just as, I guess, just as sensitive for one, but it's also being as good as they've always been by allowing to take material away from in certain spots and add it in others. That way you can cut down on the weight and still have a phenomenal performing rod. Again, so my absolute opinion, and again, take this for what it's worth because I'm just a guy on YouTube that likes to fish. I personally, and again, I may get smited for this, but I believe the NRX Plus blows the Conquest out of the water. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like I own some Conquests, I do, but I feel like I'm going to pick up my NRX Plus more than I will my Conquest. They're phenomenal rods. Both of them are amazing. You know, you're talking about you're comparing apples to apples at that point. They're both amazing. It's like picking out which Corvette or which Lamborghini you want to drive. It's just all personal preference. But in my opinion, I believe that the NRX Plus is they've done a good thing. So, like I said, Tackle Box is pretty cool. Bought some baits and stuff. But one of the things I want to talk to you guys about, a lot of you guys know, and there's going to be a lot more stuff coming out on the YouTube channel very soon. First and foremost, I released the very first video in the series of how to actually edit video using your GoPro. As you guys know, I do a lot of GoPro editing. I actually teach video and sound technology to high school students, so I feel like that I am a good person to teach you guys how to do this. A lot of times people will buy a GoPro or an action camera, whether that be a Tacticam or whatever. They set this thing up on their boat, they hit record, and after that point, they have no clue what to do with it, and they have no idea of how to get started. So I released a video the other day talking about how to, if you have never hooked up a camera, how to actually get the files from this camera onto your computer. And one of the things I want to mention is if you missed that, if you do a lot of GoPro editing, make sure you copy the files from your GoPro to your computer and then edit them from your computer. Don't try to edit them from the camera. One thing, these cameras are fast and getting faster. The USB speeds going back and forth from your computer can be a lot slower than going directly to your hard drive. So please copy those files to your hard drive and edit from there. I do have a secondary video coming out on Thursday, which is going to be the second video in that series showing you how to take the videos that I got from this camera and edit it up using a free editing program. And I'm going to talk about on that video some editing programs that I like better, but they are paid. I'm going to show you guys the free value or the free view of that. And again, so that's coming out very soon. I appreciate some support on that if you guys could. Hey man, so the shop I'm talking about is Tackle Box in South Point, Ohio. I think it's like 411 Solida Road. Let me find out. Yep, 411 SOLIDA. I'll just put it up here on the screen for you. Let's see here. Can't type today for nothing. Let's see here. There it is. Tackle Box, 411 Solid Road, South Point, Ohio, 45. Man, it may be 45680. It is 45680, not 45638, but that'll get you close. most southern tip of Ohio, South Point, Ohio. That's exactly where it's at, right? We're about 5 minutes from Ashland, Kentucky, 20 minutes from his, about 15 minutes from Huntington, West Virginia, right in the tri-state area. If you've never been, definitely do yourself a favor. And if it's close enough to drive, you will not regret it. We sold 15 NRX Plus over the weekend, but there was still probably 50 in stock, and he has 90 some more coming. Hey, Fred. How you doing, buddy? Glad to see you made it home. I think you were telling me that you were headed to the Columbus Fishing Show. Yeah, Andrew, I think you're nailing it right on the nailhead there. Best fishing store in the area, in my opinion. Anyway, so you guys know that I have partnered with Do It Molds for the 2022 fishing season, and I just absolutely got loaded down with product from Do It Molds. First and foremost, the hat you're seeing here came in the old care package. It's going to be tough for me to show you everything, but I'm going to show you a little bit of what I have coming up, and stay tuned for a lot more videos coming about bait making. My biggest thing is, the reason I told you guys to remember the Yum Dinger, the reason I buy Yum Dingers is, 1, they're cheaper, 2, I like the way they fish, and 3, I won 4 tournaments this summer on a Yum Dinger, those exact baits right there on a Wacky rig. So it was a no-brainer to try to figure out how to build them or make them myself. You guys know that I do a lot of pouring of jigs and things. This is just a raw football head jig that I pour. So I've been using Do It Molds for the better part of 10 years. I have probably 12 of them in my garage. I was lucky enough to get to talk to Drake at Do It Molds. I was actually a part of their newest catalog, Kyle and I, with some big giant smallmouth that we caught at Lake St. Clair on the old Midwest Finesse jig that they had. They still have it, but they have a weedless version now. And so I created this partnership, and we have, struck up an agreement where they're going to help me out and I'm going to help them out. So it's a huge, huge, huge shout out to those people out there. You're going to see a lot more content coming from OnAnotherLine on the page. So I'm going to cut my head off here, but first and foremost, again, I'm digging some stuff out of here. It's upside down, but Do It Molds hoodie. Do It Molds buff. Really, really daggone cool sun shirt from Do It Molds there. Can't see it, but this is a green short sleeve Do It Mold shirt. So let's get into the nitty gritty, what I got from Do It Molds that you guys are going to see more of here soon. Yeah, like I said, Fred, I'm glad you had fun up there, but you guys are going to be seeing a lot more finished product here. But again, I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to be dealing with over the next few months. So most of this come in a kit, guys. This is something that you can go out on the website and buy. And again, I make a lot of regular, like, hand poured lead stuff. I've done that for years. But I wanted to get into the soft bait making, like Stephen Chase and a few other of my buddies are doing. But there's a substantial cost that comes from this. But what I want to do is I want to create a video series as an absolute beginner when it comes to pouring or injecting soft baits, because I literally know nothing about it. Like, it's not something that I've done in a previous, and they're just sending me this stuff to actually make videos and tell you that I'm an amateur. I literally have never made a single soft plastic bait in my entire life. So you guys are going to be, coming along with that journey. Maybe it's something I can't do. I don't think so. I think Do It Molds has it set up to where you can actually, anybody can succeed. And the coolest thing about Do It Molds is the fact that you can actually, you could build your own baits. You can change the baits that you're using. For example, this is one of the old football head jigs that actually has the fiber weed guard in them. I actually hated buying the fiber weed guards. I think they actually get less rigid after a while, and that's what causes you to get hooked or hung up. So I actually use wire weed guards. So I use RTV high temp silicone to fill in those grooves that actually use wire weed guards on my my football head jig. And I'm going to be doing that on a jig I'm going to show you here in just a second. But those are stuff that you can do because you can tinker in things. And that's exactly why I love doing this stuff, especially in the wintertime. Couple do-it molds, brand new ones that are here from me. Hopefully you guys can see these things. This is the Poison Tail Jig. I got the bigger Poison Tail Jig. This is a 1/2 ounce, 3/4, 1 ounce. I am going to do the exact same thing with this jig that I was just talking about that I did with my football head jig. And I'll attempt to show you guys right now. A lot of you guys are watching this in 720p, so it may not come out very well, but if I can get my camera to focus in. On these jigs right here in the front, there is actual pegs that are in here that actually get stuck in there, and you pour lead into the cavity around the hook, and then you pull those little plugs out, and then you epoxy or super glue an actual fiber weed guard in there. But I don't like that. It's not saying that it's not a great product and it's something that you know that will work, because it's worked for years and years and years. But I like wire weed guards, so I'm going to be doing the same exact thing I did with the Do It football head jig with this actual Poison Tail jig. Next thing, this is one of the things that I fish more often than anything, especially in the summertime around here. This is a Wacky head jig mold. It will pour, let's see, 16th ounce all the way up to a 1/4 ounce. This is lead. I do fish tungsten jackal heads a lot too, but this gives me a couple options to pour some baits there as well. So that's pretty much everything for the molds, except I have hooks for all that stuff. Couple different sets of sizes of hooks here for the Wacky rigs. Got some really sweet, you guys are not going to be able to see these, but I'll post some pictures very soon. These are Hyper HD lure eyes that go on the Poison Tail jig mold. I think, don't quote me on this, and I can't really say the name of it because I'll get sued, but a specific jig with a blade on the front of it that goes crazy in the water. I think I can make them with these, but I do have some eyes to go along with that. I think one of the most expensive things that was purchased in the kit, which doesn't come with the soft bait making kit. So for right now, the gloves come with the kit. This does not. This is a 4-inch Yamamoto style Senko mold from Do It Molds. I chose the 4-inch model. Yeah, you guessed it, because that's what I like throwing, the 4-inch model. They have 3, 4, and 5 in this thing. Really high quality aluminum. The hinge works really well on this thing. Actually has Do It molded, or actually milled into the where the, I guess the egg sac would be of the worm. Really daggone cool. What's up, Mr. Green? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, Fred. So that's one thing that I'm definitely going to be covering. In my garage, I actually have an exhaust fan that goes out through the roof. I will not, and I refuse to pour lead in my garage, in my bait making room, because of the fact that it doesn't, there's too much, even with the ventilation fan, it's still, I mean, you can't smell it, obviously, like there's not a huge amount of fumes with lead, but it is detrimental to your health. So I appreciate you looking out for me there. But this thing right here, one thing that I do know about these things is that you need to pick you up a couple clamps to clamp both directions here. Again, it just keeps it from the plastic from spreading this thing apart and having a bunch of flashing. But this is, again, one of the most expensive parts of this whole kit. This thing was over $100 just for the mold. So that's the very first soft bait that I'm going to be trying to make. That's the only one I'm going to be trying to make for a while. Gallon of, this is soft plastic. Again, plastisol. You do shake it up really well. Put this stuff in like a Pyrex cup and heat it up in a microwave, which I'll be showing you guys. And then you inject it into the mold with a few other things we're going to be talking about in just a second. So again, the plastisol The gloves so far would come in this kit that I'm talking about. Like 25 of the bait bags for the baits that you actually make, a single collar or single medium 4-ounce injector that allows you to inject the plastisol into your molds. You do get an extra tip for the injector so you can keep it clean and work back and forth with that if you need to. Four different colors of glitter. I think I chose holographic silver, black, red, and gold. I believe Misty helped me pick these things out. You get this in that kit as well. You get to choose 4 different colors of colorant, again, from the soft bait side of Do It. So I chose green pumpkin green, watermelon green, green pumpkin brown, and pumpkin seed. These are the 4 colorants that I got. And again, these are colorants to color the plastisol so you can change the bait's color. So again, these 4 things would come with the kit. We have some plastisol softener. If you use salt and things, salt actually makes your plastisol harden up and make it a lot more rigid. So you need to add that. Plastisol stabilizer as well as worm oil. Worm oil keeps your baits from sticking together in the bags. So that pretty much does it there. There are some tips and things that go on the colorants that allow you to spray that stuff in there or, spread it around or whatever. But all this stuff has been sponsored by Do It Molds. So I am, pumped up to be partnered with those guys this year. But all of that stuff showed up in my door the other day. I was flabbergasted. Really cool to partner with people like that in the industry. Sorry, you probably can't hear me. But all this stuff came to my door the other day, and it absolutely blew my mind. But again, you guys are going to be seeing a lot more videos coming down the pike about soft bait making from an absolute amateur's point of view. I think we'll be able to pull it off. We'll find out. We'll do some really cool stuff. I'm going to get some people like Steve and Chase and my buddies that are actually doing this stuff already, have them help me out and see if we can't make a fish or a fish catching machine. My goal is to have some of these baits done, take them to Lake Fork here in 2 months, and absolutely see if I can catch a giant on one. May or may not happen, but I'm going to try it. Chuck Dotson, what's up, buddy? Quick shout out to Chuck. If you guys are looking for a walleye guide on Lake Erie, you definitely need to get a hold of Get Hooked Charters. Check him out on Facebook. Shoot me a message. I can get his email or his Facebook link or his phone number as well. But I want to tell you, if you guys are looking for somebody to put you on the meat, it is absolutely the place where it would be. Yes, Scott, man, like I said, I'm pumped up to do this stuff. I'm a tinkerer. Like I said, it may be an absolute epic failure. But I will tell you, all the other products that I've used of theirs in the past are pretty much turnkey. So I don't think this one's going to be any different. There is a lot more stuff that goes into it, involved with it. But I think it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be fun no matter what. We're going to either you succeed or you learn, right? So one of the two is going to happen. The other thing about it is, one thing I've noticed is that there's literally hundreds and hundreds of molds out there. Do It obviously has the market wrapped up on a lot of this stuff. A guy was telling me the other day about a company called Angling AI, I think is what it's called. It has a lot of different molds and stuff. And another cool thing about this is that I have kind of stumbled upon this idea. I teach 3D design and 3D milling in my guitar building class. I don't really have the opportunity to use a mill in my classroom for aluminum, but potentially, this is a, crazy pipe dream, but it may come into fruition. I'm potentially going to try to design my own jig and make my own mold. And then I'm going to also look at making a soft plastic mold. I've talked to the guy from Do It already. He is game. He is amazing, like to talk to, and he is like all about it. If we can make something, and obviously it's cool for them because if I make it, it's going to be their product, right? Because it's all sponsors of the sponsored video, it'll be half theirs. So it'll be cool to have another On Another Line product that's out there. So who knows? That's not going to be this year. I guarantee you that. It's going to be a little bit ways down the road. What's up, Herb? Glad I got to see you over the weekend, man. I'm still kicking around the idea of coming out there and fishing with you guys out there at Grayson. It's one of my favorite places to fish. I told you that the other day. And I guess the word's getting around that I caught a few fish out there this year because everybody told me at the tackle box I have to go show them how to catch fish at Grayson this year. And I just told them that I got lucky, which is the truth. No problem, Chuck. Again, you know that I got your back, and that's the fact is that you put us on the meat, and there's no doubt about that. Yeah, man. Like, so I am right there with you. Like the crap I've done over the years, and I've tried to be. I don't know, man. I guess it wasn't okay because I mean, anytime you're working with lead is dangerous. I mean, I don't care what they say, but I remember melting lead in like this literal cooking pot over a campfire one time when I was about 10 years old at the Little Sandy River, pouring my own sinker so I could go catfishing. You know, probably barefooted, I would say. But that is classic right here, dude. Yeah. Oh man, that's classic. Yeah, so yeah, it's like my third eye is up here, so I'd have to keep it covered. But I do try my best now that I know the thing about lead and all that stuff. I do my best to try to keep it as healthy. Is that the right word? Because it's probably not healthy, but the most the most healthy as that could possibly be. Yeah, I could imagine doing that stuff in the kitchen. But you know, it's just like in the times to live in. When I think about when I was a kid in the you know mid '80s, there, you know, you'd get a picture taken with your family at your birthday party at Burger King, and everybody be smoking cigarettes and passing around like a Miller Lite at your 8th birthday or something. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Pretty good stuff. But anyway, guys, that's what I want to show you guys a second ago, the Do It mold stuff. I'm really excited to see whether that goes. Again, Thursday, you guys are going to see a new video coming out talking about how to edit your videos that you got from your GoPro or your action camera. I had a lot of people say, hey, I got this camera for Christmas. I've got it going, but I don't know what to do with the videos after it. A lot of the pros, what you guys don't see on the Pro Tour, or the Pro Tours, I should say, is the fact that every pro has to run an action camera now just to negate cheating and all that stuff. Not that they did cheat, but it gives the judges and the officials really good footage to see exactly what happened. For example, like catching a fish outside of the mouth when they're bed fishing, something that can easily be seen on that footage. These guys are not editing their own footage. Somebody like Jacob Wheeler does. He does his own stuff. But people like G-Man and other things like that, I'm pretty sure he has somebody edit his own stuff. Ben Nowak, my buddy from up north in around Michigan, he is actually contracted for a lot of those pros to set up that video for them. So he actually makes sure their GoPros are running throughout the day. And then at the end of the day, he gets the SD cards, creates these edits for them, and posts them, or gives them back to them for them to post, which is actually a full-time job for him. But a lot of people buy this stuff to remember these things, but they, these trips and things, but they don't know what to do with the footage once they have it captured, as well as how big of an SD card to use, what SD card to use, and that's going to be covered all in this series. So if you guys are interested, make sure you go over and hit that subscribe button on YouTube and definitely take a look at that. Also, guys, again, if you guys are one of the people that won the contest 2 weeks ago, all the stuff's going out in the mail. All the JB's fish sauce headed out to those people, and the jigs. to Randy Brittenham and all those guys up there. I'll be sending them out on Thursday. Again, I wanted to give a little bit of a cushion there. I did have the coronavirus 2 weeks ago. I didn't want to have this like super spreader thing going on where I was sending the little care packages of the Rona to people, and that, I didn't want that to happen. So I'm about 85% back to normal. I think my sinuses, I don't think, will ever recover from having the coronavirus the first time. Second time is what it is, something we got to live with. I'm super proud of my school district there today. Just had a special board meeting, got rid of the mask mandate for students. They did make it optional. So if a student or staff would like to still wear a mask, they can do that. Personally, I'm going to have 90 new students tomorrow because it's going to be the first time in 18 months I'm going to see their face. So that's either a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm pretty excited about that. What's up, Corey, man? Hey, better late than never, buddy. I appreciate it as a support. And again, I saw your comment the other day on the YouTube stuff or the GoPro. I was just talking about that. Got the second video of that coming out on Thursday, showing you guys how to edit that video using a free program. And then the third video is going to be talking about the types of SD cards and the different accessories I use, like the Yolatech Power Stick. I do have a link for a Power Stick. It'll save you about $70 on one, which is a pretty big deal. And it does help me out a little bit if you buy one or share that. You can share that link with anybody you want, literally. I do get a little kickback on that if somebody purchases something. I'm an affiliate through Yolatech. Which reminds me, the Yolatech stuff, I do want you guys to know that I appreciate the support for the Yolatech, the National Video of the Year contest they had the other day. I ended up winning that thing. $500 in-store credit with Yolatech, which I'm going to be able to replace my Yolatech stuff or buy a couple. And then I'm going to buy a new boom arm, which is actually something that will extend to 8 feet and from the back deck of your boat. So it's going to be a potentially a third camera angle when we're running there and fishing. But I did win $500 and $250 cash for that, and I also finished third in the other one, which netted me $50 cash and some apparel. So thank you guys for those of you guys that voted for me a couple weeks ago, because it did pay off. We are victorious. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, so I am super pumped up. It's supposed to be in the 60s this weekend here in Ohio. And you know what that means? If it's 60s, I'm going fishing. It just so happens I have a 4-day weekend this weekend, and I am going fishing. You can bet your rear end. I'm going out. I may drag a 3/4 ounce jig all over Grayson Lake. I mean, every square inch of it, and not catch a single fish. But fishing time is upon us. Fishing time is upon us. 60 degrees it's not going to be all weekend. Friday when I'm off, it's supposed to be 34 degrees. So I will not be fishing that day. Saturday, Sunday. Saturday is a decent day. Going to be in the 50s. Sunday, 59, which I'm pumped about. Monday is going to be the best day at 64 degrees. So probably Sunday, Monday, I'll be out on the water. You guys will be seeing some fishing footage very, 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 very soon. Yeah, Corey, like I said, definitely shoot me a message before you buy. Guys, I'm affiliated with the company. I've been affiliated with them for a while. Not affiliated with them, just an affiliate partner, we'll say that. They gave me a link that I get a little kickback on if you guys order that stuff. But I've used them for years. It's an absolute game changer when you're trying to keep stuff on the water. And because changing batteries in a GoPro sucks, I can't speak for Tacticam. But this GoPro battery lasts about an hour and 10 minutes, and we're on the water for 8+ hours a day. So you do the math, and every time you're changing batteries, you're not fishing, which means you're getting it. You're changing the fact that you're not catching fish because you can't catch fish. It's a 100% proven fact. You ain't catch a fish unless your lure's in the water. So with the Yolatech allows you to power your GoPro all day long from your boats and navigation ports. And I had actually a really cool question this week at the tackle box. The guy said, "Hey, I know you do a lot with the Yolatech. How many do you have?" I said, "I run 2 a day. I run one from my front of my boat from the nav port and run one from the back of the boat from the nav port." And he said his question was, and it really took me back. He said, "How long can you run those things without running your batteries dead?" And I was like, dude, that's a really good question. First off, I run the best batteries on the planet, in my opinion. That's Odyssey batteries. They have some of the craziest amounts of storage as far as battery life goes. But I've ran both of my live wells, both of my yellow techs all day and not run out of battery juice on my cranking battery. It does get charged when I start my big motor a little bit. And the fact that I don't have giant grafts on my boat is another. I only have 2 6-inch grafts, so take that for what it's worth. That's a very good question. Could you run? Are you going to run? Are you going to notice that one of them is running all day? Absolutely not. You can work it just fine or be totally fine. Nothing will happen. Running 2 of them, depending on how much amperage it's drawing, you may see a down or a draw in your boat, which I never thought of. But again, I got, especially if you're on like 15, like 4 15s or something, obviously it's going to have a lot more, to consider there. Foot of ice. You still could do some ice fishing. You guys have been out there doing that all winter. We don't have the opportunity to fish around here on ice. It's just too cold to fish, not cold enough for ice. Cool, Andrew. Be cool, man. Maybe I'll see you if you're down in Alabama or wherever you're at, man. Hopefully you can hammer them up. Yeah, so it won't be long for you either, man. You get ice out up there in on Erie, guys. If you guys want to plan a once in a lifetime opportunity and you could plan it correctly, as soon as ice out hits on the Erie, you can go out there and absolute catch some of the biggest female walleye you've ever seen in your absolute life. Man, they catch some chucking, all of his crew. They catch some hammer. I mean, giant walleye. If you guys are looking for a once in a lifetime opportunity, it's really not once in a lifetime. It's just once a year. You can go out there and catch a big old female walleye. Really cool deal. Yeah, Worm. So yeah, I'm definitely going to Grayson. It's a little early in the year for us to catch 21 pound, 22 pounds and 5 fish, but stranger things have happened. I'm going out there by myself. I think I talked to Nate Witt earlier. He's going out there too, so we'll just be 2 boats beating around the banks of Grayson. It's just going to be nice getting out there. I cannot wait to go out and try to get some lines wet. And again, if you guys are just not joining us, I do have an Shimano SLX 7.5 heavy rod for sale. I will not ship it just for the simple fact this is a cheaper Shimano rod. It'll cost more to ship it than the rod's worth. They're $99.99 MSRP. This one's been used about 3 times. Nothing wrong with it. I just want to upgrade. I want to sell it for about 50 bones. Let me know if you're interested. That's right. The old big girls up there in Erie. I'm talking like big ones, man. Anywhere from 7 to 12, 13 pound giant walleye. I don't know if I want to go to Yatesville or not, man. I tell you what, I don't. Oh, so maybe you're headed to Yatesville, hopefully. I have a love-hate relationship for Yatesville. When I very first started fishing in this area with a boat, I would go to Yatesville 12 times out of 10. I always went there. I beat that place up, and I caught some big fish. But anymore, I would rather fish Grayson than Yatesville. I don't know why. It's not that it's that much better fishing. It's a little closer for me. But 2, there's not as much boat traffic, and it doesn't get pounded every weekend with tournaments. So I feel like, another thing is I think if you catch a fish this time of year between now and mid-April at Grayson, it's going to be an absolute slaunch. I mean, I think I project in the next 3 to 5 years there'll be a 10-pounder cut out of Grayson. I think. Yeah, so I'll definitely be throwing a jig jerkbait. The Bama rig, man. I'll probably be throwing it too, but my favorite baits this time of year is definitely a jig jerkbait. Probably a chatterbait. Probably throw a jackhammer for a while, especially in that fire crawl. You know how that thing, guys. Those things sell for a reason. They absolutely get smashed. Probably start shallow. See if I can find them there with a jackhammer around timber, around some different it won't be no vegetation, but different cover. If I can't get bit there, I might go out to the very first points and drop offs on the lake around spawning areas. Now we're still several months out from spawn, but there could be some fish that are staging. Throw a jerk bait on those points. And then if I cannot get bit, then there's going to be 2 things I'm going to do. That's definitely going to be throwing a jig. But the number one bait I throw in the springtime, especially pre-spawn, is a lipless crankbait. red eye shad, jackal, one knocker. It's just there's several baits I throw, but that's definitely going to be on the menu this weekend. Yeah, so I like East Lynn a lot. I've only fished it a handful of times. I hooked a giant fish out there in a tournament, and I was fishing a Wacky rig. I know, imagine that. Fishing a Wacky rig, threw it up on this tree, set the hook, absolutely burnt the gears out of my reel. I'm thinking it was a muskie. Now that I know that there's muskie in there, I've seen people catch them. I'm thinking that's what it was. But I caught a 4-pounder out of there 2 years ago, and I think that's literally the last time I've been there. We'll have to get together and go out there and hammer it up. You guys, I've been saying it for years, but you guys need to take me to not East Lynn, but Beach Fork. Show me how to catch them out there. I've never been to that lake, so maybe you guys can be my guide out there. That'd be a pretty cool video. But guys, we're about that 1 hour mark. I appreciate you guys joining us for this episode of On Another Line Live. This episode, again, brought to you by Do It Molds. We are now partnered with On Another Line, Do It Molds, and we're going to come at you with some crazy content. And another cool thing about Do It Molds is I'm super, super proud to be a part of the team is the fact that they have vowed to help me produce and promote my channel, which was really cool. It wasn't just all about what I could do for them. It was basically what they could do for me. And all the videos that I produce will be posted on their social media site as well. So On Another Line will be seen by constituents other than my own, which is amazing stuff. So again, shout out to Do It Molds and that group of people over there. Does go without saying again, quick thing, jbsfishhouse.com, OALL, that is the letter OALL, On Another Line Live 20, save you 20% off. Anything that you would like to buy from the jbsfishhouse.com. Again, you guys know, I'm sure of it. Pincho garlic is my signature scent. I have to laugh about, I made a question on that last giveaway that you guys could enter daily by saying, what signature blend of JB's Fish Sauce is, for On Another Line. And literally, man, some of you guys nailed it every day, and some of you guys have no stinking clue. It's so funny, man. Some of you guys thought my name was Kyler Beckman, which was cool too, because that dude's an absolute hammer. But pretty cool stuff. Again, jbsfishhouse.com, OALL20 at checkout will save you 20% off your entire purchase, which is a big time deal. ApexFishingApparel.com, my buddy Mark Hickey, his brand that he's pushing out right now. He's got a lot of cool stuff. You guys saw me wearing some the other day. It's really comfortable stuff. Again, if you guys are interested in getting your hands on some of that stuff, he's got drinkware. He's got all kind of different stuff. ApexFishingApparel.com. Use Waller10 for a 10% off on their website. And again, guys, these codes for both of these companies, obviously I'm partnered with JB's Fish Sauce. We do have our own signature blend, but these codes are for you guys. This has nothing to do with me. I'm not getting kickback from either of these companies. They work, and I work to help work with you guys. So if you guys are interested in saving some dough, those two right there will help you out. Again, OALL, On Another Line Live 20, jbsfishsauce.com, apexfishingapparel.com, Waller10. So again, this episode brought to you by Do It Molds and people like you. Thank you very much for the support and things that are happening out there. Adam Barber, dude, first off, I say this every time I'm out there, but I want you to know how much I appreciate your support. You've been one of the diehards from day one, ride or die from day one, basically. I remember you joining one of the some of our very first shows 4 years ago. And now it's just me. I see you on here week after week after week after week, and it means more than you know, man. I appreciate the support, really do. Corey, I'm not kidding. I'll share the data with you. It's classic. But it's all good. It's fun. I mean, and that's the thing. Whatever they put on there, I gave them an entry. I didn't care if they got it right or not, but some of them were absolute nuts. Fred, great to have you on as well, man. I'll talk to you later. You're right. JB's Fish Sauce, pinch of garlic, baby. See you guys. If you guys can, if you guys are going to be out there at Grayson or Yatesville this weekend, I will not be at Yatesville, so do not expect me to see you there. But if you're going to be at Grayson Sunday or Monday, I will probably be there both days, just for the simple fact is I'm off work and it's fishing time, boys. It's 60 degrees. I'm out there leaning on them. If you guys can, make sure you get out there and lean on them as well. You guys know the saying, if you can, get out there and lean on them. We'll see you next time on Another Line.